What's going on YouTube? Bryce Crispy 94 here, bringing you another miniature painting video. And today we have the Discord community voted miniature. So what this is actually a corpse flower. So, for this month, I went ahead and since, we've been doing the light breakers, I was like, well, I don't really want to vote which light breaker they want to paint because I'm going to paint them all. I'm like, what if I throw up some of the most fearsome foes that the Lightbreakers have encountered? So I chose Sahawagans from the episode where I think we were making a journey from Ataro. And in the middle of the ocean, we ran into some Sahawagan shark riders. Really fun episode. Go check that out. Then the next creature was the Catoblepus. The Catoblepus is like the death cow, the thing with the laser beams. We encountered those in the Underdark, which is a fantastic arc. Shout out to Cryo for creating one of the best worlds. Honestly, Cicerius, crazy Underdark, Myconid city, full of awesome homebrew creatures and fantastic arc. Go check that one out. But the winner so happened to be the corpse flower. This was just like a one-off enemy that we fought in a graveyard. So if you don't know what a corpse flower is, hop over onto the Monster Corner playlist and check it out. It is an episode where Cryo and I break it down, but we have special guest Sakado. Well, Blazing Torchic, who plays Sakano in Double Advantage. And he is on there because this beautiful, disgusting creature almost put him in his grave. Spoilers. But yeah, so this was the #1 voted. We did something a little differently this month. We also put a poll up on YouTube that a few of you did vote in. I figured since not everybody's in the Discord that watches the videos, might as well throw up a poll on both, and I just kind of averaged them out. And Corpse Flower won. So I'll continue to do that, but for those of you that don't know, there is a Bryce Crispy Discord. It's called the Water Pot. Links in the down there below, and that's the place where you'll see all my videos posted. You will see the community votes first, and a bunch of other stuff that you don't see just on the YouTube channel. So be sure to check that out and join if you want to. Let's talk about the actual flowers. So, I'm just realizing I forgot to get paint out for this bird and this bird. Oh god, there's another bird there. I only thought there were 2 birds. But there's 3. So I will get that. I'll probably use like a gray. This is not the normal primer we use. This is actually Citadel Wraithbone primer. And that is because I'm a little pressed for time to get all the light breakers done. So we are going to be using, if you couldn't tell probably by the title, but we are going to be using speed paints. So I will have to find a speed paint for the birds, but I can do that off camera. Let's just talk about the actual flower itself. So, for the base, the thick vines that wrap up this creature, we are going to be using orc skin. Then for its tentacles, the viney tentacles, I actually have camo cloak. This may change depending on how it looks, but for right now, probably camo cloak. Then we're going to move on to its bulbs, which I'm going to paint with Zealot Yellow. And once that dries, I'm going to add Fire Giant Orange to the very tips of it. Now the giant flower on top, which is basically a bulb that has bloomed, the outer flower will be the Zealot Yellow and the Fire Giant Orange on the tips, just as all the other bulbs are. But this inner flower here is all going to be Hive Dweller Purple. And that's my own little twist on this creature, because a corpse flower is an actual, like, thing on Earth. It's an actual plant. And they're purple. So I was like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if it opened up and it had this pretty purple flower in the middle? I might do yellow on these little weird things there, just because I think that'll look cool. And then throughout this entire thing, you can see some skeleton heads. I actually not sure. Yeah, that's a skeleton head. There's a rib cage. There's an arm there. So there's a bunch of skeletons. So I do have the pallid bone for that. And what I think I'll probably do is once this is painted green, if I get, you know, some green on the skeletons, since they're so intertwined in it, I will probably go over them with a dead white. Vallejo dead white. Just to get them back to a base color that the pallid bone will take over. And then finally, there's this corpse down here that isn't so digested. Guess is a good way to say it. Also, I noticed I broke it right here. So a little sad about that, but that's okay. It's down on the bottom. You won't really see it. And so I have the malignant green to do the rotten corpse. Now, it's not on a base. And that is because I plan on doing a nice little custom basey. So I have a nice base here, Lord the Print. You know how I like their bases. It's kind of rough, but that's all right because we're going to make it rougher. We're going to use Citadel Technical Martian Iron Crust, and that is going to be a nice dirt-looking paint. Once that is done, I am going to put some glue just in some smaller bits and add some brown Battlefield to give it even more of a rough bit around it. And then once that has all dried, we're going to cover it in dirt splatter. And then do a nice dry brush of the Reaper Shield Brown over that. So just give it some varying browns. And then finally, I have some Army Painter Deadland Tuff. And we'll probably use one of the large ones and maybe one of the small ones. We'll see. But to give it kind of that dead look, because they feed on everything around them. So the ground should be kind of barren, but yet still kind of grassy. So I thought that would look cool. But that is enough chit chat from me for right now. Let's get to painting. we are back. So, before I reveal this miniature all painted up nicely, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, comment to let me know how I'm doing, and subscribe if you're not already, because that's how you see if this goes up. Again, this is a Yasha. Ooh, hit my entire chest. It's a Yasashii Kyojin Design Studio. Their link is in the description below. You can purchase this mini on my mini factory. If you want the supported version, the unsupported version is free. So go check them out. They make some crazy good miniatures. Let me get my light on because I just realized that I didn't have the light on for this. So here it is in all of its beautiful glory and gory. So one thing that you guys may have noticed in the speed up is I did finish the base and then attach it. So I was going through, had it painted, did not like the orc skin. It turned out to be too bright of a green, which is funny because that does not look like a bright green at all, but it was. So I moved over to the Absolution green, and that is what the majority of the plant material is. And I really like how it looks with the camo cloak on the tentacles, vines, whatever they're called. So I did go ahead and do that. Another thing, I did add these off camera. I added them to the base after the base was done, and then I glued it on. A couple other colors that I added. I didn't realize that was like entrails. See it there coming off of it until I was painting. I was like, oh, that's what that is. So I did go ahead and grab Slaughter Red to do that, and I kind of made some blood trails running down the corpse onto the ground around it. Got some in the plant there, as you can see. I almost wanted to do a different color than the malignant green because it's just bright and vibrant, but I was like, whatever, it's kind of cartoony and fun. So I left it. The birds, which I need to talk about the birds. So the two birds I did in runic gray, and I might go in and add like a yellow beak on them, but I think like ravens have like a black beak, so I think it kind of just works. Plus they're not like the main focus of the creature anyway. Purple flower turned out really well. I love it. Anyway, so this bud here had the third bird on it, and I believe it's in the video in the speed up, so you probably didn't see it, but I dropped the miniature right on the bird and it just completely destroyed it. So I kind of shaped that up to make it more triangle-y, clipped the remains of the bird off, and yeah. Other than that, I really love how this turned out. One thing with speed paints that I'm still definitely getting used to is like right here, a lot of that pooled in the flat area, and it just made, I don't think it looks bad on this figure, but some figures it just looks weird. An example is the knee here for this Inogu I painted. So some of the less textured areas, if you do not spread the paint on correctly, it pools and it gets really dark in that area. Another thing with the speed paints, and I had the problem a lot on like the skull parts, they bleed. They are really bad at bleeding, which, so on minis that don't have a lot of colors going on, it's fine. Example A, Inogu, mostly grays. Had like 0 issue with color bleeding. This one with the different greens and yellows, yeah. I almost, there's some where the green bled up. I tried to go back through and hit every spot with some white, but sometimes it didn't matter. for the most part, I think I got it. I really enjoy how my base looks. It's got multiple colors of brown into the more like swampy wetlands area. I did go with I think I showed them off earlier, but they are the Deadland Tufts from Army Painter. I like that because the corpse flower does leave a radius of dead around it, so they look kind of like dead grass. Yeah. I did change up my plans for the ground, so I did a lot more of the gravel and less mud. But I think it really worked. But yeah, you guys liked this miniature and want to participate in the next fan vote early, go ahead and scroll down below, click the link to join my Discord, and yeah, and then about a day or two, there should be 3 more options to vote on. You'll just click an emoji, on the picture that you want, and if it wins, you'll see it in a month. Yeah, I think that is it. It'll probably be a Christmas theme because it is December. So yeah, I'm done here. I'm gonna quit rambling. It's a late night. Had a long day. Watch Double Advantage episode 55 if you'd like to know why my day was long. But until then, I'll catch y'all later. Peace.